Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Event 3 of 2016 Premiere. So, this presentation is a look at my digital life, yours, one and only, Tiki Tech Guru. So far, as a recap of what I have announced so far at 2016 Premiere is Mobile Media Hub, Online Internship Portfolio, iOS for All, Beta Testing Series, and the Online Internship Series. So now moving on with the presentation. So I want to introduce you to me in a flashback back in 5th grade. Now back in 5th grade, USBs were just coming to be from what I saw. And they were very portable in the sense that they could just fit in your hand. They were very convenient. You could just plug your USB into any computer to save or open any files. And more importantly, when I was introduced to USBs, back in the day, they had so many names like key drive, pen drive, or USBs. I was told by the store associate that consider it to be a small portable document folder. And around that time, there was not a lot of storage on these USBs. Now, as time went on, yes, the storage got a little bigger, but even at that time, to just get a 1, 2, 4, or anything bigger than 4 gigs, it was just expensive. And so when I got my USB, this is what it basically had. Yes. And data just piled up. And I had to quickly learn on my feet that I had to organize all of it instead of just, let it drift off and be unorganized. And then came middle school. And in my middle school years, yes, more storage. 8 gigabyte USBs were starting to come out, 16 gigs were starting to come out, and many other memory options. And along with that, the one thing that a middle schooler like me was struggling to do was to carry it around, because apart from having pockets empty, the biggest thing was that I had to be responsible for this small little thing. And for me as a middle schooler, I just had to keep it on me so much, because if I were to create files on one computer, it would take me a long time to just go through my backpack and pull it out, because I had just so much in my backpack back then, and I was an unorganized person, and I had to learn on my feet, like I did in 5th grade, that I need to be organized in my backpack as well. And so this was in my pocket mostly. And it ended up being at the Lost and Found at my school one time. Moreoverly, I was not the only kid who went through this problem. Many other kids went through it. And, this portability and convenient part was just kind of just starting to float away. But back then, I had a 16 gig USB media drive, and I preserved my data from 6th, 7th, and 8th grade on this one USB media drive, along with my other files, including music and whatnot. And so, one folder of 1 year looked like this: data, 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 and data. And if you were to look at the USB in general, you would see that it was data that was just piling up. And then I went to high school. And so, yes, there was more capacity options being available for USBs. And for me, easy to carry around and Lost and Found were not kind of options anymore, because I went to this very small high school. And cloud storage was a huge thing introduced to us as students, and we were privileged enough to be able to use it due to our unlimited internet access and whatnot. But yet, I still carried USBs, except I didn't have any of these fancy drives until a little later. And these were not even out there, by the way. They just came out last year, but these are just on the side, as you can see, just for showcase that, hey, a lot of memory options, a lot of different USB media with different capabilities was starting to come out, and a lot of the capabilities that you see in some of these SanDisk devices or other USB devices, they were rumored back in those days. So now, using those USBs, every day or 2 days, I had to back up my recent data, and it just depended on how much work was being done. If I was working on many files, every day I would back up my data. If there was one day I was not working so much and not saving so much, and the next day I was literally backing it up every day where there was just a lot of data to be worked with. And so then around that time, I also had an external hard drive that I invested in. And every week or 2 weeks, I would back up my recent data. And every school year, the external hard drive had data from 5th grade, middle school, and high school. And around that time, I was also using cloud services. And, this led me to think about something really interesting. Software tools, as you guys know, is a huge part of Educate Life 101 because everything Educate Life exists on is software. And software is the foundation. And so, in the category of software tools for Educate Life 101, there are platforms for software. Computer App Hub, Virtual Tectrix, Mobile Media Hub. And then I thought about 2 other platforms, long in the making. And so this platform that I'm about to introduce to you is the 8th project of Educate Life 101. And yes, it's a platform. It's focused on storage management, backup management, data preservation, and most of all, storage and backup solutions. Because I felt that in the years that I've had to, value and take care of my data, I've also seen some challenges with it. And I've seen many other people have these challenges as well, be it friends, family, and schoolmates. And so, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I introduce to you LifeCore Digital. Yes, LifeCore Digital. Before I introduce you to it, I want to just recognize my resources for pictures. And now, let's go to LifeCore Digital. So as you can see here, LifeCore Digital is still in development, but there are a couple of things I have posted. So, Apple programs. Many of my friends and peers that were struggled a lot with iTunes backup and how to consolidate music sometimes because they saw that their music that they downloaded was just appearing randomly. And then many of my friends struggled with iPhoto. Some of my friends struggled with other apps from Apple as well. And so I have written a little bit about what I do, and these are proper procedures. Along with that, there's a little bit of stuff yet to come for backup routines, and a little bit of content might be moving around from what you see on these pages. And many of my friends and even peers I saw were struggling with autosave settings regarding Microsoft Office. So there is a video that I did long way back, and that is up there for now. There will be a new one coming up soon. And yes, for the users that used Mac, they kept asking me, well, should I upgrade or should I not? And a big issue around that time in my years I've seen, apart from just the time I live now, is many times when we upgrade our Mac to the newest operating system version, things don't run smooth. So should a user upgrade or should a user not upgrade? And there are going to be a couple of things regarding that are yet to come. And this is just a little bit of advice and tips I've done Apart from that small mini sway that I did, there are going to be some storage media things I will talk about that is upcoming, and weekly storage routines that I will be writing about as well. So this is Lifecore Digital, and the goal of it is all about data preservation. It's just targeted towards data preservation. So this is Lifecore Digital. And this comes to a conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, to my Lifecore Digital presentation.